Hello, my beautiful mystic hearts. Welcome to today's love reading. Okay, so we're just going to get straight into it today. So we're going to be doing a you versus them today. I'm firstly just going to tap into your energy just to see what's around you. Given that I'm starting with these pink cards today, it's going to be the divine feminine that I'll be tapping into firstly. So we'll just get an energy check just to see, as I said, just to see what's around you, just to see how you're currently viewing this connection. And then we'll tap into the divine masculine, into the person who is on your mind. All right, beautiful. So let's get straight into it. It is Saturday morning here in Australia today, so I hope that everybody is having a really lovely weekend as I'm recording this. Yeah, I'm actually getting really quite a sort of a not a lumped feeling, but quite a relaxed feeling. So it'll be, yeah, as I said, interesting to see what comes through on the cards for you today. All right, so my beautiful divine feminine, what is around you at the moment? What's happening? All right, so we've got the boat to start with. So we've got receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on. I always see the Six of Swords when I see this card. So so it doesn't surprise me that I'm picking up on such like a relaxed sort of a feeling at the moment. I think that you really are starting to, I want to say moving into a fairly abundant period in your life, but you're definitely leaving behind a very tumultuous time, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that the last few months for you have been really, really trying, really quite difficult. And I'm just hearing that you're really starting to move into, just a much more positive mindset is what I'm hearing. Not just about this connection, but also with just life in general, just really moving into calmer waters. So leaving those rough seas behind. I'm also hearing too that you are potentially really starting to see the fruits of your labor come to pass is the other thing I'm hearing as well. All right, let's just keep going. We're going to get your top row here. Oh, I've just got cards flying out at me. We'll get two more, please, and we'll get that card. All right, so this is your top row. All right, so Cupid's arrow, as everything is just being pushed off here. Okay, just bear with me here. I'm just going to pick up my feathers. One moment. Okay, I'm back. That was a millisecond for you, but that was pretty funny. So that was actually Cupid's arrow that just, so I haven't touched any of the cards, just so you're aware. But Cupid's arrow, that was actually the card that really wanted to make itself known. So that's having faith, love is coming, surprise invitation, meeting hesitation. You might actually have intuition that this is on its way. I think you're actually sitting in a very comfortable position at the moment. Or potentially something might have just popped up. Your divine masculine might have actually just popped up. So surprise invitation or meeting. But definitely Cupid's arrow. Let's see these other cards. Okay, then we've got lightning, keys on a ring, and self-indulgence. Okay. All right, so Cupid's arrow, lightning. I think that you've actually just had, because this is my sudden strike, as in something has just come through to you. I think that potentially for some of you, something's actually just come across your table. I think you've actually just received a message or something has come through from your divine masculine. Maybe that's why you're feeling in such a positive frame of mind here. Is that maybe something has just come across your table, either that or you're anticipating that this is going to come through. So this surprise invitation or meeting, potentially your masculine has just popped up on your socials. I've just heard that. Maybe your masculine is just, you've seen them come through. Maybe they've liked one of your stories. I'm hearing as well, maybe they've just sent a friend request, something along those lines. And I think this has actually happened very suddenly. And I don't know if this masculine's actually fully reached out just yet, or if this is really what you're waiting for. Why did I hear as well new love? That'd be interesting. I need to confirm these cards, but I'm just hearing as well potentially new love. for some of you, maybe it's something new that's just popped up that you really weren't expecting to come through. Like I said, I'll get another couple of cards here from what I just heard. But keys on a ring and then self-indulgence. So keys on a ring. So we've got many options, decisions, unconventional, strung along, one night stand. This is the connection that you had with this masculine. So just confirming, I think that with your divine masculine, I think that this was a very short-lived romance. I don't necessarily know if it was a one-night stand as such, but I do think that it was a very short-lived romance, which is very typical for these types of connections. I think that you really were made to feel strung along, which is what this self-indulgence is about. This is this real focus on yourself, to really be healing this out. So I think that you did very much feel like you were an option for this person, that there were a lot of other priorities in front of you when you were first brought into alignment with this masculine. I always see this as my third party card here. So that may or may not be romantic third party, though it could be family, friends, work obligations, just other toxic third party scenarios around this masculine. And I just feel that you did very much feel very strung along. But this is what you've been focusing on, right? And really starting to heal this out. So understanding your self-worth, really doing a lot of shadow work. So I think that you've been very, very focused on healing your inner child, on your shadow work, really understanding, your trigger points. Really, I'm seeing my healthier ways of living as well. That cards, I wouldn't be surprised if that actually comes out, to be honest. But I'm just feeling, I'm just stepping into such an abundant period. I don't mean just financially. I mean spiritually, emotionally. I just think you're stepping into just such a beautiful, abundant feeling. Just with everything around you, like I'm seeing my hermit card as well. So I think that you've really been really hermiting in the last few months. Really, really focusing on, as I said, I'm just really, really doing some deep introspection, really working on your self-worth and really understanding the relationships and karmic situations in your life, and really just cutting a lot of that out, really starting to see yourself for the first time is what I'm hearing, which is this boat card, right? That Six of Swords, really moving on to far healthier ways of thinking, ways of living. I'm on the fence about this though, because we've also got many options, which means that you might have actually just had something completely unrelated to this divine masculine comes through. And I think maybe you yourself are on the fence here as to what you should be doing. Let's get a couple more cards here. Like you might actually be the one with many options here. You actually might have the choice between a couple of masculine energies here. All right, so we've got a boat, which is Sword on a Rose. So truth, clarity, revelation. Yeah, I reckon something's come across your table. This is that Ace of Swords. So to me, this is the Ace of Swords card. Whenever I see that, so that truth, that revelation, that breakthrough that's coming through. The fact that it's come under your that Six of Swords energy as well means that there's probably just a lot of clarity in your life at the moment, which would make sense if you've been doing a lot of that real deep, heavy inner child work, that deep introspection. I'm also hearing that you're getting a lot of spiritual healing as well. So you could really be reaching out to spiritual practitioners at the moment, really on that healing journey, as well as tapping into things like tarot readings and things like that. But I'm just hearing that you yourself are just getting a lot of truth and clarity, a lot of empowerment around yourself, which is helping you step into these calmer waters, into this abundant path. There may have also just been a revelation or a truth come through to you about this masculine. I just heard that as well. Maybe that's what this lightning is as well. This truth, this revelation that's come through really, really quickly, really suddenly. All right, Cupid's arrow. I'm still on the fence if you've actually got new love. I think that for whoever this right collective is, I just think that this many decisions, this strong, not so not the one night stand, but maybe there was a one night stand. But I just think that you're the one with the options here. I think you were made to feel like an option, but I also think you've got other options. So Cupid's arrow, and then we've got ascending, so transcending, obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. So I think for a long time, what I'm hearing is for a long time is you have really been trying to have faith here about this surprise, about this masculine, your divine masculine coming forward. I think you've been really holding the line for a long time for this. But I think that this is what you're actually ascending out of. I definitely think that you're ascending into a very, as I keep saying, a very abundant period, and just not in your pentacles, but emotionally, spiritually. I just think that you are ascending into a very beautiful period. I think that for a long time you've been trying to prepare for union, but I don't know if that's so much of a focus for you at the moment. Is this union? I think that you really have been, that has been for a long time, a huge focus for you is union with your divine masculine. But I think that with this new phase that you're stepping into, this new energy that you're getting about you, I think you're actually ascending past that, which means that there has been quite a lot of time since you and your masculine have had any kind of contact. All right, lightning. This will be interesting to see what comes out for this. All right, that's too many, but let's go with the snake. Let's go with the snake there, which means I'm not going to take that card, but that could be what this revelation is. This lightning is that's come through. We've got heart with the key, welcoming new love, meeting the one, opening your heart, getting together, perfect. I think you've got two energies here. I think that this option is all about you. I think you're starting to really just starting to ascend out from this divine, that constant need for this divine masculine. I really do think, heart with a key, I think that I think there's someone else that's come in. I really do. All right, I'm gonna get the tarot after this. All right, we've got many options here. I also think too that there is potentially this shocking news, right, that's come through is actually from this person with heart with the key. So getting together, perfect. Yeah, like I said, I think you've got a couple of masculine energies here, which is why I'm like going backwards and forwards here. I think I'm actually picking up on two very separate energies. All right, so keys on a ring. Oof, okay. All right, so I'm going to put, so we've actually got axe here. All right, so breakup, separation, stopping the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. And then on the bottom, we've actually got not enough. So frustrated, in relationship, lack of confidence, self-sabotage, ego, jealousy. This is this old energy with this divine masculine. This is actually what you've been axing out, is, you know, that whole, I think that you were made to feel really like an option here. I think that for a long time you felt like you were not enough. And I think this is really what you are axing out. So you are stopping the pattern. I do think, though, that there has really been a lot of time here between you and your masculine. I think it's been a long time between any contact. I think that there really has been, like I said, a breakup, separation. I think that it really was a very difficult time for you, this separation that happened. I think it did actually happen quite suddenly, like lightning. which really did trigger all of your abandonment issues. It triggered your feelings of not enough, of really those real deep, that childhood scarring is what I'm hearing about being abandoned, about needing that validation from outside sources, not being able to have that validation, to find that validation within yourself, which comes down to self-esteem, to strength, to actually seeing yourself for the first time. And this is really what you're axing out. So you're really starting to stop the pattern here. Yeah, like I just said, you've been really in the self-indulgent energy, very, very self-focused, very much just also axing out karmic relationships in your life as well. I just heard that. So just not only to do with this masculine, but just everything. You may have also just left a job as well. I just heard that. Was it you could have potentially just left yeah, a career that was no longer aligning with your energy. I just heard that. But we've got here this abundance, right? So keeping a positive mindset, manifesting exactly what you want, gratitude. I think you're also starting to really show gratitude. And look, here it is, abundance, right? This is the word that keeps coming up to me, is abundance in all parts of your life as a result of this beautiful inner child work that you've been doing. It's not easy. I also have to say that this has been a really tough ride for you, because inner child work, inner healing, facing into your shadow, it is hard. It is not easy. It's not quick. It's not a quick journey, and it takes a lot of courage in order to do that, both for divine feminines and masculines. Which means that you will have been on this journey for quite a while. It will have been some time ago since you were first brought into union with your divine masculine. But look at this, you're stepping into such a beautiful, abundant period. And it is, you are truly. So when I was saying that your the fruits of your labor are starting to come in, that real manifestation energy, those blessings that you will have seen, in your mind, you've been able to be thinking, that very 4D image that downloads that you've been receiving. Yeah, it's really starting to come into fruition. But I definitely still think that you've got a couple of masculine energies here. And I'm thinking, when it comes to the divine masculine, I'm thinking that, or I'm feeling that you're like, look, divine masculine or not, for someone who made me feel like this, like an option strung along, never made me a priority, really, I'm hearing axed you out of their lives as well. This masculine just axed you out like lightning, like it was very, very quick. And you're just like, no, I'm just not putting up with that anymore. A divine masculine or not, I deserve so much more, is what I'm hearing. But I think definitely something's come through to you. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to get the tarot now and just see what comes through in the tarot. All right, I'm going to get the angel cards today, actually. I might get angel cards. Let's see what angels have to tell you today. I always feel close to the angels when I get this deck. So let's do it. Oh, straight away. Okay, what's that card that's popping up there? We've got the Ten of Pentacles. So that's very, very abundant. That's potential. I mean, we'll see if this card actually comes out, when I'm in your spread. But you are moving into such an abundant period at the moment. Like the Ten of Pentacles is really, that's everything. That's, white picket fence, house, family, dogs. That's the Ten of Pentacles is really true abundance, true alignment, true abundance. So it'll be interesting to see what comes through. All right. All right. What does this beautiful collective need to know? What is happening? This beautiful feminine collective. I'm not going to take these cards. That was the Hierophant, by the way, which is marriage card. But anyway, we'll keep going here. Right, I'm going to split the deck because I just want to get your overall ruling energy here. Let's just see what's going on. All right, so we've got, oh, wow. So we've got 9 of Cups. So that is you. I mean, the Nine of Cups, she is a beautiful energy. She really is. That's the abundant card. That is just before. She's like, she's almost like a queen, but not quite the queen. You know, I think that you're in that phase of. I think you're almost about to be a Queen of Pentacles, but you're not quite there yet. You're not quite there on your journey, which is your Nine of Cups. It's also around real wish fulfillment as well, which means that you were really that's what I mean. Like the cards just keep showing, just keep confirming for us about this real abundance that's coming through to you. Just a real wish fulfillment card. There's just a lot of things that you've been asking for, which I think are all starting to come into alignment again. Or I shouldn't say again. I think for the first time, I don't know why I just said again, but yeah, I'm not sure why I said again, but yeah, definitely big wish fulfillments coming through here. And then we've got the world. So we've got the world, but that's in reverse though. So the world means that they're trying to grant you a new cycle, right? The universe is trying, your team's trying to go into a new cycle, but there have been some blockers here to actually prevent that from happening. So I think this is your overruling energy. I think you're stepping out of this, though. I think you're stepping out of this world in reverse energy and starting to really step into this Nine of Cups. I'd be really interested to know what's happening with these with these two masculines that you've got around you, though. All right. All right, let's get your top row. Top row for this beautiful Divine Feminine Collective. Also hearing the words glow up as well. So you could be going through a real glow up at the moment. I'm going to take this in the reverse. So we've got Nine of Wands in the reverse. Interesting. The Eight of Pentacles in the upright. We've got the High Priestess in reverse. The Knight of Cups in reverse. And then we've got Judgment on the side. I'm going to take this in the upright. Okay. All right. So these are very interesting cards. Okay. So Nine of Wands. So this is really what's around you, like what your team, or some messages coming straight through from your team as to what, you know, what they want you to know here. So we've got Nine of Wands in the reverse. So very much in the upright, this is really about coming through to, you know, an end of a cycle. You're a little bit battle weary, but you're able to really stand up for all that you've accomplished. Really stand in your power is really what that card is to me. Really able to take a stand on things. I think this is in the reverse though, right? Which means that there is still some hesitancy around you at the moment to actually take a stand on something, to actually make a decision, to really stand up for yourself is what I'm hearing, to really take that stand in the reverse. I straight away heard family on this, that there's something to do with family that you're needing to stand up for. This could also, I'm also hearing as well that this is to do with your divine masculine, is what I'm hearing as well, is that there is still been, I think that you kind of know your self-worth. I think that you know what you are what you are deserving in a relationship, but I think that that there's still some hesitancy there. That's what I'm hearing. I think that you go in and out. So you're still on this journey. I think you've come a long way in your journey, but I think that you still go in and out as to your ability to really take that stand, to be proud of everything you've accomplished. So I'm hearing that you really need to take stock of how far you've come in this journey. I think that you might need to actually sit with your team. I'm just hearing to just do a little bit of reflective work just on how far you've really come. to when you first started with this journey. Maybe journaling is something you need to do, or something that potentially you do or you haven't done for a little while. But really just sit there with your team and really just take stock of how far you've come in this journey. I think that you will probably be really surprised with how far you've actually come. And I think it might be a bit of a reminder to you to be able to stand in your strength and to make the decision for whatever this relates to. We've then got the Eight of Pentacles, but the Eight of Pentacles in the upright, which is generally a pretty good card. I mean, this is all around around being a master, right? And your manifestations are starting to come through, and you're really starting to become a master of your craft, really. Really working hard, really working away to bring in your pentacles around you. The fact that this is in the block, that this is in the blocker row, I'm feeling that maybe but they're not able to fully grant you everything at this stage, is what I'm hearing. There is some hesitancy here around you. I think this is relating here to this first card. There's something to do with your pentacle path, which you're really going to have to take a stand with. And I'm just here, like I just keep hearing the word family. I feel that there is something here that you're really going to have to take a stand with. You're really going to have to remember who you are, remember the path that you've been on, and really stand up for what's right in your life, is what I'm hearing, so that you can then become this master, that you can actually put into action all of these beautiful lessons that you've been learning. I think that this is an opportunity now for you to actually step into your power and really put that into action, is what I'm hearing, for it no longer to be a blocker anymore. Which then, brings us to the High Priestess, but in reverse. So the High Priestess is all around, very much around intuition. She's such a beautiful card. It's all around intuition, and really, it's also a bit of a mission work card as well. But really, I mean, she's also a master manifester as well, the High Priestess. I'm also seeing the number 2 here as well. So you could be seeing a lot of 2s at the moment, 222. The number 2 might also really resonate with you. The fact that it's in reverse, though, means that you are probably not fully listening to your intuition at the moment with certain things. I think that you really need to start tapping into that intuition, really tapping into your High Priestess energy with whatever this is going around you. This could also be around these couple of masculine energies that I really do feel are around you. I think you're really going to have to start listening to your intuition. I don't think you have full trust in your intuition yet, into that line between you and your team. And I think you really need to start to really face into your High Priestess energy, is what I'm hearing. Just really have the courage to stand up for yourself, to really face into whatever it is that's coming across your path here. Because we've then got the Knight of Cups, but the Knight of Cups in reverse. So it doesn't surprise me, actually, that we've got a Knight here. So that the Knight of Cups in the upright is, well, I mean, this to me is actually one of your divine energies. In fact, this might even be your divine masculine, which means you might be dealing with a water sign at the moment. There could also just be a lot of emotion around this at the moment, but you could be dealing with a water sign. So Pisces, I heard straight away, Cancer as well. Scorpio is the other water sign. You could actually be dealing with a water sign. You could be a water sign. The fact that this is in the upright, though, so when I see Knight of Cups, I always get a couple of things. So this is a love offer coming through to you, specifically from a Knight of Cups. A Knight of Cups as well is also someone who is can be pretty emotionally immature. I'm going to say it can be actually really quite emotionally immature, especially in the reverse as well. So I think that this is probably someone who you were dealing with, which was really quite emotionally immature, especially when you guys were first in union. Like I said, I think it's been some time since you guys were then separated, but I think this was someone who was pretty emotionally immature, would really act on emotion quite easily without thinking about the consequences, which probably actually put them into quite a bit of trouble here. But there really has been a lack of a love offer that has come through from this masculine as well. I'm also, one of these masculines around you might also still be very much in Nine of Cups energy. But I think that's what you're being told, right? Is that through the High Priestess and through your through your High Priestess energy, it says really those things that you need to start to be looking at, to be analyzing, and really just, very much step into your High Priestess. I just keep hearing that over and over again. Just step into your High Priestess energy. There is no greater connection than the connection that you have with your spirit team. So I'm just hearing you really just need to tap into that. And then ultimately you will be brought into judgment energy. So judgment energy is mission work. It's a call to action. Which does not surprise me that this is the card that has come out for you, right? You could also be really Archangel Gabriel as well. So he blows the trumpet, calls you into action. You could be really, in that traditional deck, you could also be really, or feel quite close to Archangel Gabriel as well. Also the number 20 or the number 1010, which means the end of a cycle. You could be seeing a lot of twos. So we've got 2 2s again, so 20, 222. But also I always see 1010 here, so the completion of cycles as well, which means you're really stepping into a new cycle here. All right, let's see what else we've got here. All right, so the Nine of Wands, now we've got the Six of Pentacles in reverse, right? Which means, so this is your current energy, right, that's around you. So this Nine of Wands is really leading to an imbalance with you in your life at the moment, which you would be fully aware of. Like, you understand about this. So this nine of Wands in reverse is leading to this Six of Pentacles, which is this imbalance, and also relationships that are out of balance, that they're not relationships that are called give and take here. The fact that it is in the reverse. So for fear of just repeating myself, like I said, like you've just been very much urged to very much tap into your intuition, very much tap into that line that you have with your team, with your guides at the moment, and really step into your High Priestess energy as to what to do here. I'm being reminded as well that when I was looking at your first deck, because we were very much talking about you closing out karmic cycles in your life. So I think very much at the moment you do have a lot of relationships around you which are very heavily under review at the moment. And I'm just hearing that anything that is not, that is actually pulling you out of alignment in your life, that is triggering you, that is making you, be in this Nine of Wands in the reverse energy, that you are really starting to just cut this out of your life, which is really positive. It's good. All right, so Eight of Pentacles. We've then got the Two of Wands, with the Two of Wands in the reverse. So the Two of Wands is all around planning, right? The Two of Wands in the upright is all around planning and really just looking for that next step in life. We've got the number 2 here again as well. So I think 222 is it's a very important number for this collective. 20, 22 twos. The fact that it's come up in the reverse, though, that means that there's been a lack of planning here. So a lack of planning, which has then, led you to this Eight of Pentacles, because this is your blocker, right? So these Two of Wands, I think that for quite a while, I think that there has been a lack of direction in your life, that there's been a lack of being able to plan ahead to take that next step. to really bring you into your Eight of Pentacles. Like your team is really trying to grant you something here. But I think for quite a while that there has been this blocker here between your inability to really step forward, to step into your power here, to become a master of the things in your life. I'm just hearing that this is what this inner child work is that you're doing though. I'm also hearing the words procrastination. So you could be a bit of a procrastinator, right? Maybe you do struggle a little bit with actually taking action and making plans, actually stepping through and seeing like, what is that next phase of my life? What do I need to do to step into my judgment energy, my mission work? What do I need to do here? And so maybe this has been a bit of a blocker. Maybe this is, I'm also hearing the word routine. So maybe routine is something that you might actually be working on at the moment. I think you're being urged to look at this a little bit further as well. What does your routine in life look like? All right. High Priestess in reverse. All right, I'm actually going to take this. This came out on the side, but we've got Page of Swords. Page of Swords, but in the upright. So Page of Swords in the upright is all about revelations, right? That is all about truth seeking. Is the Page of Swords. I definitely think that there have been things here that you have had intuition about that have been kept in the dark. High Priestess in reverse. I'm also seeing a bit of that moon energy as well. You're really being, like I said, I think that there are revelations here. There's the fact that we got that clarity card that first came out as well. We've got the Sword and the Rose card that first came out in your first deck, which is all around clarity and revelations. I think that this is not just with this masculine though. I just think in your life in general, I think that if you really start to tap into your High Priestess energy, then there will be a lot of clarity that's brought around in your life. With all sorts of things. I'm hearing this is not just romantically, this is in all aspects of your life. You're having some serious breakthroughs here, some serious revelations, some serious truths are being told here. It's what I'm hearing. I'm just hearing that the people around you, that there is a lot of things that are starting to come to light about as you're doing your healing work, as you're stepping into your mission work as well. There are just a lot of things coming to light around you. Like you're having some really significant breakthroughs. I'm hearing emotionally, mentally having some really big breakthroughs here, which is beautiful. Which means you're starting to come out of this row, right? Like you're starting to come out of these blockers. And I was hearing healthier choices, like you're starting to make a lot healthier choices in life, which is really helping you to start to step into that abundance. All right, so Nine of Cups here. There's the Moon card that wanted to come out. All right, so Nine of Cups. Right, that's actually, okay, no, that's two. I'm being told I should take them. All right, so then we've got the Chariot in reverse. And then we've got Judgment. They've got the King of Swords in the reverse here. All right, so these are really interesting cards. So we've got the Knight of Cups, which is what I said. I think that you have been dealing, especially with your Divine Masculine. I do think that you have been dealing with a fairly an emotionally immature. Certainly, when you guys were together, this masculine was definitely in the Knight of Cups in reverse energy. I also think that there's been a lack of any kind of love offered to come through, and then which is then confirmed then with the Chariot in reverse here. So there really has been a lack of movement here with this masculine. Also a lack of concerted effort with this masculine, and I'm getting such a sense of frustration here as well with this masculine. I just think that you are kind of just a little bit over it, and like I said, I'm just getting this feeling around that there's just this other masculine energy around you now. is just what I'm hearing. All right, so but then we've got the Judgment, and then King of Swords. The King of Swords in reverse. So this is obviously all around your mission work, that call to action here. But then we've got the King of Swords in reverse. So the King of Swords, you could also be an air sign yourself or dealing with an air sign, given that's the King of Swords. The King of Swords is very, very logical, very has his mind together, the King of Swords. In the reverse, though, this is a very much it's a really quite a jealous type of energy here. It really is. It's a very overbearing energy as well, very jealous energy, quite controlling as well. The King of Swords, especially, because in the mind, it's really quite a controlling, jealous type of energy here with the King of Swords in reverse. I think that this is really that kind of energy that you are trying to, as part of your healing, right, is that you are really trying to move past this type of energy, really trying to move past any kind of masculine energy that would be presenting in this way. This is really what you're trying to heal out of, trying to move out from. And the fact that that's got a Judgment is that you know that you need to be moving on from this type of energy, from calling this kind of energy into your realm. Into your, you know what I'm trying to say, into your energy field, before you can actually step into your Judgment, like fully, truly step into Judgment, into that beautiful mission work, into what you're supposed to be doing, truly doing with your world. All right, it's a bit of a it's a different energy I'm picking up on today, I have to say. So I certainly hope that that's resonating for the right person. I still think there's a couple of masculines around you. I actually want to get some picture cards, but I normally tap into the masculine when I use these picture cards, but I just want to delve into these couple of masculines actually that are around you. I want to see, be a bit nosy here. I want to see what's happening. All right, I'm going to get these picture cards to do that. And just to see if there's any kind of guiding messages that come through as well. That come through, that I hear. All right, so these two masculines, who are these two masculines around this this beautiful collective? All right, let's see if I'll be told. I might not actually be told either, but let's see what comes through. These two beautiful, these two masculine energies. What have we got here? All right, so we've got childish. So one of them is, okay, so we've got childish, immature, argumentative, playing the victim. That is that Knight of Cups in the reverse. That's exactly what we were talking about. So a really quite an immature energy, playing the victim, just really not emotionally, just very immature, which is what I'm hearing. It's very immature. So there could actually be quite I'm hearing as well, there could actually be a significant age gap between the two of you. You might actually be dealing with someone who's quite a bit younger than yourself, Divine Feminine, which would not surprise me if you are dealing with, if you identify with the divine connection. All right, I've just had, all right, so we've got guilt here that just flew out at me. So apology, remorseful, ashamed. Your divine masculine, I'm feeling this is your divine masculine. Your divine masculine may have actually popped up. I keep feeling this. It's something's come across your table, that there was an apology here, or you can feel it. There's something going to be coming through, an apology of some sort. You've been waiting for this for a while. From this masculine, you really have been. Okay, another card here. Oh, okay, this is, come on, very what is happening? There we go. Got message straight away, but I will Oh, and message has come. Okay, so there is something that's come through. There is something with your divine masculine. There really is something that's come across, or you can feel this, like this is about to come through. So conversation, communication, expressing feelings. I have a feeling that there is a message that has come through, that there has been this, or there's about to be, as about, like you can feel it, like it's coming through. But I think that you were really just starting to ask yourself whether it's really worth it, whether you should be messaging back, whether you should be responding to this, really what your next step should be. Because then we've got spotlight, so limelight, self-absorbed, audience. This is also, so we've got self-absorbed here again. So you had that in your card, in your cards. Yours was more in far more positive light. That's actually you taking time out for yourself to reflect, that real introspection card. I just have this feeling that this masculine is still, this divine masculine is still, you know, in this quite self-absorbed energy, I have to say. Spotlight is also around social media as well. So you could actually be on social media yourself. You could actually have some sort of a channel, or this masculine has come through on your social media. I kept feeling that as well, but I certainly think that something's come through, or you're waiting for something. He's popped up somehow. I think for some of you, this will all resonate. I know with whoever this reading is for. And then we've got mind games again. So we've got immature, testing you and analyzing you. Yeah, definitely something still comes through. I would say that this masculine is still very much in this energy, this divine masculine. It's up to you what you do. Divine feminine. Okay, let's get another couple of cards here. What's this? We've got drama, scandal, truth coming out. There's the truth card. It's probably like, yeah, I mean, there's a reason why all of these cards are coming out. So there's definitely something that's come through to you, divine feminine. Either you might have also found something out as well. Maybe it's come through from a friend as well. Maybe it's your friends found something online. Something's happened here. We've got self-love, so loving you, taking back control, finally being happy. Well, this is you, right? And I think this is the energy that you're in at the moment, and you're looking at this energy here, and you're like, man, like I want to actually take back control here. Divine masculine or not, if you're still in this kind of energy, like why, I'm just hearing like, why am I bothering here? Which will be why you're being told to really start to listen to your intuition here. Maybe there's been a whole lot of red flags in the past that you would have completely looked over, which you are just not prepared to look over anymore. I'm also seeing roses again. So roses have come out a couple of times for this collective. So we've got the rose with the sword, and then we've got red roses here. So I don't know, potentially your masculine might have even maybe had to send you some roses. Maybe that's what's happened. But roses, I think, are very important for this collective. I would say that if you've still got a masculine who you know is playing mind games with you, who you know that they're testing you, analyzing you, that there's a lot of drama that was around, yeah, I would just tread very, very carefully. Feminine, divine feminine. All right, then we've got stubborn, so bossy, selfish, inflexible. Yeah, this is this energy that this masculine is still in. Still in here. I want to maybe get the tarot. Actually, I might get the little black cards after this. I want to see how this masculine is still seeing this connection. unfinished business. So we've got proposal, forgiveness, reconciliation. I think this is still very much on this masculine's mind here. You know, there is definitely still unfinished business with you. It just depends on whether this masculine is actually going to be in the right frame of mind or not here. Like, is he actually going to be worthy? That's what I keep hearing. I keep hearing your team saying, is he actually worthy of your time? Which is something divine feminine. It's the only, that's really the only, what am I trying to say here? You're the only one that's going to be able to know that for sure. But I would say, look, if we're still dealing with someone who's immature, argumentative, playing mind games, you've got 2 mind games cards here, self-absorbed. Yeah. And we've also got double life come up on the bottom here. So liar, deception in another relationship. I certainly think that that's how you felt when you were with this person, when you were certainly brought into alignment for the first time with this person. I'm also just hearing young. I'm hearing that this person is young. I certainly think that there is an age gap between the two of you. But then look, we've got twin flame on the bottom here. So you probably still do see this person as your twin flame, just to confirm, right, that this is definitely your divine masculine that we are talking about here, the person that you do see as your twin flame here, just to confirm. Yeah. And I definitely think that you have another energy around you. I'm going to just get another couple of cards here. Like I said, this is a very different energy to what I normally channel here. I definitely think that you've got, I'm going to try this again. I think that you definitely do have another masculine energy around you. I just wonder if we're going to be told about it, or if this is something you're going to have to use your intuition on. You know, really bring yourself out of this 9, out of that, the High Priestess in reverse energy. Okay, let's ask. I'm going to ask, who is this second masculine? Who is this second masculine? I did bring out that energy, actually. Who is this second masculine? Do that again. Second masculine. Someone, so looking at pictures, regretting, missing you. This might have also been someone else from your past as well. But then we've got stubborn, bossy, inflexible. Netflix and chill. I have a feeling this is another person that's come back in. I think this is another blast from the past, is what I'm hearing. I think this is another blast from the past. I think you've got your divine masculines come in, and I think that there's another masculine energy around you that's also just reached out. I think that's what's happened here. Someone who was, I would not say this was probably a long-term relationship that you were in. I think that this is, I don't think this is someone who you thought of at the time as your divine masculine, but I certainly think that this is someone who you probably had a really, I'm feeling it was a really quite you had a fun time with this person. I will say that. But at the same time, I think that you do see this person also, you know, as someone who was quite bossy and a bit selfish and a bit inflexible, which is probably why I'm just hearing you. It was a mutual ghosting, is what I'm hearing. But this person has been sitting here in regret over you and thinking about you, reminiscing. I think this second person has reached out. What have we got here? All right, so persistence, so still holding on. So flowers, gifts. I'm not necessarily, so roses have come up again. So I think that roses are very, very relevant here. This might have been someone that was not, it was a very short-lived romance, but I think maybe this was someone who you could have considered something long-term with, which doesn't surprise me is that now that this second person has popped back into your energy, that you're kind of like in this quandary as to what do I do here. Like I said, Divine Feminine, you're the only one. This is a bit of a test for you as to what to do here. But guidance and faith. Interesting. So intuition, dreams, faith, healing. So I always, I'm going to say this as well, as I always end up seeing I always see motorbikes when I see this here, but there's been some distance here between you and this person. But you're being told to use your intuition again. So you really are healing through this. Whoever this second person is, I definitely think there's two masculine energies around you. Whoever this second person is, you were being told again to listen to your intuition, have faith. Remember all the healing that you've done. So really go and take stock of all of this, and this beautiful healing journey that you've been on. Go and sit with your team, get out in nature, meditate, do whatever you need to do, but really connect with yourself, your team, and this beautiful healing journey that you've been on. And just really tap into your intuition is really the main message here. Only you're going to know really what to do here with these two masculine energies. All right. So we've got unknown caller, stalking, hanging up. I certainly hope that didn't happen, that is not this second energy coming through. But look, on the bottom, I've got snooping here as well. So unknown caller, so stalking, hanging up, unknown numbers. I think that this is this second person here who's also been in your energy. I definitely think you've got a couple. Like I keep saying, I don't want to keep repeating this, but you've definitely got a couple of energies here that are in your energies that are in your energy. Which wouldn't surprise me with all of the things that are going on with the planets at the moment. It wouldn't surprise me that you've got your divine masculine on your mind, of course, and then you've also got this other masculine energy that's popped up with all of the planetary alignments at the moment. It doesn't surprise me. All right, so secretive as well. I'm going to get one more here. So missing information. So I think that this is why you're being really urged to use your intuition here, especially, with both of these masculines. But I think with this other energy, I think that maybe not everything is as it seems. I think so. We just keep coming back to that same message again, is that you're really going to have to put into practice all of that beautiful healing energy that you've done, all of your intuition, and really listen to your guides here as to what's going on. And then one last card. I've got all these cards trying to pop out here. One last card, please. I've got soul contract here. Wanted to pop out. Like I said, you might have actually really thought at one time that this person, this extra masculine, this other masculine energy that's around you, really at one time you might really have thought that this was your person. Right, and then we've got, there we go, pop up, surprise visit. There we go. So there really has been, so just to confirm everything I was picking up on, so there's definitely two energies here. You've got your divine masculine, you've got your, there's also a second masculine energy around you that's also just popped up. So secret visit, reaching out in person. This person really might, so it's the lightning card as well, is what I'm seeing. So you really might potentially, like I said, actually have a couple of, I feel like you've got some, which will be why you're watching this reading, is some guidance here. You're actually really after some guidance as to what to do here. Poor feminine. I feel like you've got this though. I think that deep down you know exactly what to do here. You really do. But yeah, I would just be careful of this second masculine as well. I would be. I'm also being told too that, and I feel this might be something you say to yourself from time to time, is that very often exes are exes for a reason. This will resonate for whoever this is for. Is that exes are exes for a reason? I feel that that's something that you might actually say to yourself. You might actually say to your friends as well. But yeah, but there's definitely been someone who's popped up here. They might have even, like I said, I'm seeing roses as well. Roses are really, really important to this collective. You might have just had some sort of a gift or a like roses. I'm just hearing roses. Oh, okay, all right. So I'm going to get here some beautiful love oracle cards for you, just to try and see if we can get any more information here, or really just any more guiding messages is what I'm hearing. I'm going to get you the Lovers Oracle here. I'm just really hearing for this right collective is that this is a time for you to do just really some serious self-reflection here. Really take stock of this beautiful journey that you've been on. And intuition, it's time to really, really tap into that intuition. Okay. I love these cards. These Lovers Oracle cards. So beautifully illustrated. So let's go. Let's try and get some. I haven't used these in a while, actually, in my readings. So let's try and get some beautiful guiding messages for you. Oh, they're being picky. Very, very picky. And just as I'm doing this, the sun's coming out as well. So, oh, no, that's way too many, but I will take this one to start with. What have we got here? So beautiful. So the dove as well. So doves could actually be a pretty significant symbol for you as well. I'm seeing the moon there as well, but the dove. I'm also seeing peace, right? It's also such a sign of peace as well. So inner peace. I'm hearing that you're really starting to step into, real inner peace here. Gosh, that sun is really coming through. All right. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. So very much speaking to this beautiful healing journey that you've been on. And also I'm hearing as well that for the first time, you're starting to just really let go and allow those things in your life that have to happen, just really letting go. And just, I'm hearing the words let go, let God is what I'm hearing, which could also be something you say quite a lot to yourself as well. There really has been a lot of turmoil in your life though over the last little while, but it's something you're really coming out of now. I think you're like I keep saying is I think you're just really starting to see some of those fruits of your labor. You're starting to really understand why certain things in your life have happened. All right, let's get a couple more here. Oh, it's way too many. Always a little hard to shuffle these cards. Gosh, two more, please. Two more. Being very, very, very picky. All right, that one. And that one. Okay. What have we got? This one. Okay. So we've got, if I could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart. For the heart is the gateway to the soul. Oh, as in, if I could do anything, like what should you be doing here? Between these two masculines, I just feel that you're very much as of two minds here. As it was, which way should you be going? Also, not with these masculines as well. I was also hearing family. I think you've got some big decisions to be making around family as well. But the answer dwells within your heart, not in your mind. So intuition, right? Listen to your intuition. The heart is the gateway to the soul. Very much the overarching message here for this is just to understand your mission, your intuition, also your mission work, but your mission, your intuition, and your spirit team. And then transformation. Your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. Oh, it's very interesting. I would say probably your relationship with yourself more than anything is about to deepen, and the love conquers and transforms anything. I'm just going to get another couple more. I'm just hearing I need to get another couple more for you. So we've got passion. And one more, please. Right, that one. And then balance. Interesting. Okay, so then we had passion. So like magnetic and seductive qualities surround you with present. Enjoy it. I think that's funny. I'm sorry. It might be a little bit frustrating to whoever this is, but I mean, clearly, I mean, if you've got, you know, that this sort of energy that's around you at the moment, then I think we've been told just to enjoy it. Don't stress about it too much. You'll know which way to go. And then you've got balance. So love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. So this is going back to that Six of Pentacles card, but in reverse that came out from you. So all about balance and also around, you know, relationships of equal give and take. So I think this is very much something you're going to need to be focusing on at the moment. Like I said, not just with your masculine, but also in all of the relationships around you. I do think that you are really starting to step into a period where you're going to have to really stand for yourself and what you believe in. And not just agreeing with others, right? But really stepping into your power. And then ultimately then a great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. Right, so just confirming exactly what we've been talking about in this reading. All right, I'm going to leave the reading there. A bit of a different reading, bit of a different vibe today, I have to say. So I certainly hope that does resonate with the right collective. So I'm sure it will. Good to hear from you if it does. But look, I will leave it here. If you have made it the way all through to this to the end, I would ask that you do like and subscribe. It does of course help me, but more importantly, it helps these messages get out to those that need to hear them. So I would ask that you support in that way. But that will be it for today. So I'll see you in the next reading.